thinks that this is going to be the best pride ever, right? So I just want to say a few words. So since Minnesotans United for All Families went away, and none of you really read my emails anyway, so that's fine. Since we all went away, I went to work for Freedom to Marry, which is the campaign to win marriage nationwide. And I'm really excited to tell you, as of today, I'm unemployed. How about it? From the deepest part of my heart, I want to say thank you to everybody here, because I know so many of you I've already talked to tonight. You've all done so much to make this reality. In 2012, in November 2012, when we were thrust into a conversation that we didn't necessarily want to have, Minnesota reacted, and you came in droves to have really meaningful conversations about why marriage matters. And that was the turning point. November 2012, when Minnesota was the first state in this country, after 31 tries to defeat a very hurtful amendment, and then we shifted and went in one marriage 6 months later. It's because of you. And this country has changed forever. So congratulations for that. So since June of 2013, I've been working with Freedom to Marry, and I've had an incredible opportunity to work with the Human Rights Campaign, the American Civil Liberties Union, Lambda Legal, NCLR, so many amazing advocates across this country to establish state-based campaigns. And I want to tell you, one of the best parts of my day today, we are monitoring implementation in places like Alabama, Mobile, Alabama, where Roy Moore is trying to do everything he can to stop it. We're monitoring it all day long. And state after state, not every county and every state, but state after state, people are getting married today. People are getting married today because of what we did in Minnesota, because of what you did to invest in this. So thank you so much to everybody, every partner. I couldn't be prouder to be a Minnesotan today, and I couldn't be prouder to be an American, a gay American today. Thank you so much.
And Ann Kaner-Roth. So Ann, you're gonna do your. You can tell people where you've all been lately. But Ann and I met sitting, working on defeating the amendment, and really got to know each other really well. And I had such a great partner in crime, sitting on the floor of the Capitol, launching Minnesotans United for All Families, and it's one of the most meaningful days of my life, along with so many victories that we've had since. And so I just am so excited to be here with you now.
Thank you. Well, I have to say, I don't know that I thought I was going to have another chance to be on a stage talking about Project 515. Folks in this room might know that Project 515 sunsetted after we succeeded with our goal here in Minnesota. But this gathering here actually reminds me a little bit of a gathering that I wonder if folks were at a few years ago at Tom Phan's, right before we were launching Minnesotans United for All Families. This is actually before we even hired Richard as the campaign manager. And it was a very different tone. This was 2011. And I don't know if at that moment, in fact, I think we can all be quite sure, at that moment, I don't think we thought that this year, Pride of 2015, that we would be here celebrating such an amazing win. And I think we all know that there is a tremendous amount of work to do in this country on LGBT issues, on many issues. But today is a day to celebrate the families that told their stories, the plaintiffs that put their lives on the line, the elected officials that got us here, all of the heroes, all of the people that went door to door to door, talking to folks about why marriage matters. And that's what gets us here today. I hope everybody is celebrating all of that. Thank you. So much gratitude, so much love.
And we have our elected officials. And so Ann didn't even tell you all the great things she's doing now to make our state safe so you can vote. Working at the Secretary of State's office. She was at ACLU working on marriage on a national level and going state to state where they didn't have marriage and helping set the landscape today in our country. So, Ann, you're awesome. So, our elected officials. So, we couldn't be here today without really in Minnesota having champions at the Capitol who really day in and day out talk to Minnesotans about why LGBTQ equity is important for our state. They sway people's hearts and minds every day, and they take the good votes and are with us all the time. And we couldn't have a better champion at the Capitol than Senator Scott Dibble.
Thank you. So I'm going to take the senator's prerogative because we have two amazing champions here with us today. My brother, my best friend, Frank Hornstein, who was at my wedding in 2008 in California. We'll give him 30 seconds, and then Barbie Russo, who's been fighting the good fight, especially on behalf of our transgender brothers and sisters, in defense of her own family member. So Frank and Barb.
Well, thank you so much. This man and Richard and Monica, all of these folks here have done, and Ann, they are our heroes. They did the heavy lifting, especially in the legislature, Senator Dibble, and it was so appropriate at a couple minutes past 9, I found out the news from Scott Dibble. Now, it's hard to believe that just 3 years ago, when the constitutional amendment to ban marriage was passed in the legislature, many of you stood out in the hall and inspired us with that chant, "We've just begun to fight." Remember that? Well, at that moment, we did begin the fight, and it's come to its culmination today. We made history. Thank you so much for your passion. Thank you for your organizing. This is a day to celebrate. This is history being made, and I'm so proud to be a part of it, and I'm so proud to stand with these amazing folks, the Human Rights Campaign, Out Front Minnesota, Project 515, so many allies. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Barbie Russo. I represent Shoreview, Arden Hills, Mounds View, a little bit of Spring Lake Park. And for me, to be a freshman in 2013, it was amazing to get to be part of that historic session when we passed marriage equality in Minnesota on the heels of many, many decades of work by a lot of people. But I don't know how many of the rest of you listened to the president twice today. There's still a lot of work to be done. And we have fights ahead of us on the national level. They got to pass ENDA. We've got to shut down conversion therapy. And we got to get rid of things like the stupid bathroom surveillance efforts and things like that. So lots of work ahead of us. And I know you're going to help us.
Amazing champions. And before I forget, I want everyone to meet and know and start to support. This is not a partisan or political event, but Senator's prerogative. Angie Craig is going to be our next Congresswoman in the 2nd District. She's going to take out John Klein, who can't even bring himself to meet with his own gay constituents. And her wife, Cheryl, they are an amazing powerhouse couple in the southern suburbs. Send Angie Craig to Congress. Do everything you can. Please bear with me. I have a little something to read to you. No union is more profound than marriage, for it embodies the highest ideals of love, fidelity, devotion, sacrifice, and family. In forming a marital union, two people become something greater than they once were. As some of the petitioners in these cases demonstrate, marriage embodies a love that may endure even past death. It would misunderstand these men and women to say they disrespect the idea of marriage. Their plea is that they do respect it so deeply that they seek to find its fulfillment for themselves. Their hope is not to be condemned to live in loneliness, excluded from one of civilization's oldest institutions. They ask for equal dignity in the eyes of the law. The Constitution grants them that right. The judgment of the Court of Appeals for the 6th Circuit is reversed. It is so ordered. Love wins. Love is the law of the land. When we emerged from that chamber and we began to chant, "We've just begun to fight," that chant transitioned into "Love will prevail." And we showed them in Minnesota, and now the whole country knows it's true, that love wins love will prevail. I was so heartened to find out that as a part of this decision by Justice Kennedy, in the appendix, he cites as the basis for the decision, one of the many, many bases for the decision, the evidence of how this world has changed so profoundly that we now get to participate in a right that other people had taken for granted for centuries. The laws of the state of Minnesota granting full marriage equality for everyone. We helped make today possible. So thank you all so much. Today, in the Rose Garden of the White House, in our nation's capital, our president said these words. And this ruling is a victory for America. Hello? Oh. This ruling is a victory for America. This decision affirms what millions of Americans already believe in their hearts. When all Americans are treated as equal, we are all more free. Today we can say, in no uncertain terms, we've made our union a little more perfect.
Yes.
Yes. So I do want to take a moment to remember and honor others who have made this day possible. I just got off the phone with Anne DeGroot, who sends her greetings and her love, who started this work back in the late 80s here in Minnesota, when we just wanted the city of Minneapolis to provide health care benefits to our domestic partners. So she sends her love and her greeting. She is one of our heroes. Alan Spear, my predecessor and mentor, who couldn't be here for a day like today. Or Bert Henningsen and Dick Hansen, the farmers from northern Minnesota, who lived lives of intense and incredible dignity. They made today possible. So we honor them and we remember them here. So many champions. The president talked about how extraordinary things can be done by ordinary people. We saw that happen in Minnesota when we defeated that amendment. 40,000 volunteers engaging in those conversations that Richard Carlbom talked about. We made history, and it's going to make such a difference for the 5-year-old, the 10-year-old, the 12-year-old. One of my best friends this morning said, my son Quincy, he's 4 months old, he will never know a world in which you can't just simply marry the person you love. Think about that. How incredible is that? So let's celebrate today. Let's have a hell of a Pride weekend. The work starts again on Monday because we are a part of a larger movement of making this union more perfect. These struggles we have on race, police brutality, Black Lives Matter, this is our movement. This is our struggle. We are a part of that. Do not let them say that we picked up our marbles and went home. New Americans arriving here to add vitality to our country. That is our struggle. Come on up, Karen Clark. There she is. My sister, newlywed, Karen Clark. And her beautiful wife, Jacqueline, is here too. My husband is on his way, so we'll shout him out when he gets here. So I'm just wrapping up. I'm just saying we're a part of a larger movement for justice and equality. We'll keep fighting for those transgender kids, for our transgender brothers and sisters, make sure kids aren't bullied in our school, make sure seniors have access to health care and long-term care where they can live in dignity. So we pick up on Monday, but this weekend, we celebrate. Congratulations to all of you.
Well, I'm just so happy to be here, and I think Scott's probably said most everything, but I do want to add just a couple points, which is none of this would have been possible without the incredible movement that you all were part of. And we are really honored to be some of the people who get to help carry the banner, but there's no doubt we know that the movement was created by people in out front, in 515, in the whole community. So many of you took risks and came out, and I was just listening as we were driving down. I was driving down from the farm up north, and the people were talking about how we're going to fight this, and we're going to overturn this and throw back. And I just have to say, we know they're going to try. right? They've tried every year. When we passed the protections against discrimination based on sexual orientation back in 1993, every year they kept coming back with something to try to take away. But you know what? They can't do it. They can't do it. We are here. We're here to stay. We're here to be married. And I do want to introduce my beautiful bride, Jacqueline. After 26 years together, we had a shotgun marriage. So that she could enjoy the legal rights that we won. Go on my health insurance when 2 years ago we passed that bill. So I thank you all for helping making that possible, for helping making our life better. And just congratulations. You all helped make this happen. Thank you.
Happy Pride, everyone.